Homicide is one of America's darkest crimes. And the murder of multiple people is truly haunting. In July of 2020, TJ Wiggins of Central Florida's Frostproof was arrested for a triple homicide of 3 of his longtime friends during a nightly fishing trip. Wiggins allegedly committed said murders to avoid or prevent arrest or to escape custody, and today he is potentially facing the death penalty. In today's video, we are going to explore and unpack the startling murders committed by TJ Wiggins, his charges, and why the local sheriff stated that this is evil in the flesh when referring to Wiggins. Before we begin, make sure to like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss out the next time we post. Now, on to the story. Fast forwarding to July 17, 2020, when the murders take place, 3 longtime friends were off on what seemed like a normal fishing trip at Frostproof's Lake Streety. The 3 friends and future victims include 23-year-old Damian Tillman, 30-year-old Kevin Springfield, and 28-year-old Brandon Rollins. The 3 men were then approached by Wiggins, who accused Kevin Springfield of stealing his truck engine. This altercation seemed to work as a distraction as, around this time, while the men were near or in their own vehicles, Wiggins opened fire on all 3 men, shooting them multiple times each. This story continues to grow more heartbreaking as, while he lies dying, Rollins calls his father Cyril, who hurries to their location to help his son.
When I got there, I was looking for my son. It was a mess. I found my son, I was holding him. He was telling me what happened. I was too shocked.
According to the reports, Cyril forgot his phone while hurrying to his son's rescue. Although Rollins' father was able to become a witness to the death of his son, Wiggins wasn't arrested until 3 days later, after a receipt in victim Tillman's truck led to the discovery of a Dollar General surveillance footage of Tillman and Wiggins discussing their fishing trip and need to meet up with Springfield with the store clerk. This information helped piece everything together for police, and Wiggins was quickly arrested. Further investigation looked into Robert Wiggins, the brother, and his statement and subsequent involvement in the crime. With time, the grand jury indicted Wiggins in September 2020 with charges of 3 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of tampering with evidence, and 1 count of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. The tampering charges were set in place due to Robert Wiggins, age 21, informing the detectives that his older brother had thrown the gun used to perform the killings out of the truck window. This story deepens further as Robert Wiggins' girlfriend, 27-year-old Mary Claire Whitmore, and Robert himself are both charged with 3 counts of accessory after the fact to a capital felony. These charges carry up to 30 years in prison each if they are convicted. As of October 2020, TJ is being held without bail and his girlfriend Mary is being held with a bail of $45,000. Robert, as of the summer of 2021, is also being held without bond.
And all three of them are dead. They're murdered. Worse than that, they're massacred. These folks appear to be beaten and shot. Did you hear me? Beaten and shot.
As developments ensure and the public learns more about the case, an online petition was created which asks prosecutors to pursue the death penalty for Tony Wiggins and reached its goal of 1,000 signatures. This petition was created by Erica Peralta, hosted on change.org, in order to help support the victims' families and gain justice for the victims. She states TJ Wiggins already had a very violent history, and with his recent brutal murders, she, and the 1,000 signers' reasoning is not without some evidence. Wiggins has a criminal background that, according to the sheriff, will shock your conscience. He has roughly 230 felonies.
So when they leave the store, TJ tells Robert, who's driving, go to the lake. Now, they had no plans to go to the lake until TJ told Robert, go to the lake. And they did. Robert drives and pulls up behind the white truck that's driven by Kevin with Brandon in the passenger side. TJ exited his truck. When he did, Brandon got out of his vehicle and shined a light back to see who was pulling up behind them. TJ rushed up to Brandon, pushed him against the truck, pulled a handgun out, and said, "Where's Kevin?" Kevin's sitting in the driver's seat right there. And he looks and sees Kevin. He runs around. He, being TJ, runs around between the red truck and the white truck. He points the gun at Kevin, and TJ says, "Where's my truck?" Kevin goes, "I don't know what you're talking about." "Yeah, you do. Where's my truck? You sold the engine out of my truck." TJ hits Kevin. Damien starts to open the door of his vehicle and is screaming at TJ, "Put the gun away, put the gun away, put the gun away." TJ's out of control, screaming, "Where's my truck?" And he starts shooting Kevin and Brandon inside of the white truck. It's estimated, and this is still under investigation, he shoots him 9 to 10 times between the two. Then he turns on Damien and begins to shoot Damien, who's got his door open but is in his truck, several times. Then he goes back to Kevin's truck, and during his excitement, now he has dropped the magazine to his firearm and he can't find it. So he opens the truck door and Kevin falls out on the ground. And that's where Kevin's found.
He had one instance in January of 2020 where he faced felony charges for battery over someone over the age of 65. In March of the same year, he faced charges for aggravated battery on a person with a deadly weapon. All of this info is relevant as criminal history can be brought forth when a judge is considering bond. Not much else is known about 26-year-old Tony TJ Wiggins other than his criminal record. However, as the case continues, we discover more and more of his dangerous ways. Furthermore, court records show that Wiggins' criminal reports contained errors. They stated that he had no prior criminal history, while the box for not recommended for release was left unchecked. This means that there is a possibility that Wiggins has been out of jail when he shouldn't have been. This information being incorrectly presented to the judge has definitely made the legal process all the more complicated. It seems as though the work done by those who signed the petition and spoke out on the incorrect aspects of the handling of Wiggins' criminal history have managed to come to some form of a conclusion. The work has led to the judge not only putting Wiggins up for the death penalty for his triple homicide. This conclusion is now set in stone and seems to be unchanging as we continue further into the trial. There was a reward for any more information that can be discovered about the case, and this has gone from $500 to $30,000. With such a strong and passionate base of people working for the justice of the three victims, it seems like the case might be headed in the direction of justice. The hearing for Wiggins occurred on November 3rd, and we await the release of any new information about this hearing. That concludes our look into the tragic story of the triple homicide committed by TJ Wiggins. This story is insane and heartbreaking, and we wish condolences to the victims' families and hope that they receive some sort of justice. If you found this video educational and sparked your interest into the case, leave a like down below and tell us any information you have on the case in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I am Casey Hour stepping in for Terry. Thanks for watching Blunt Trips, and we will see you in the next video.